So the Fed conducted a review of America's largest banks in something called a stress test and found that most of them passed. Hooray! Good news, right? Well, what that means now is these banks are going to be able to turn around and give a bonanza to the shareholders. Let's talk about that in this video. I'm Mike Greiner. I'm a lifelong Democratic activist who's concerned about the direction our country is taking. If you share my concerns, maybe you could like this video and subscribe to this channel, and maybe even click that little bell that will notify you when I post a new video. So in my mind, one of the biggest outrages in the past few years, and certainly one of my biggest disappointments of the Obama administration, was how in the wake of the 2008 financial scandal, which really is what it was the big banks basically gambling with other people's money, and then when they lost, going to the federal government and asking to be bailed out. And the way that the government responded was to basically give the banks everything they wanted and not hold anybody accountable. It was really an outrage. But what was supposedly going to be the protection that was brought to bear as a result of this was what's called the stress tests that the Treasury Department and the Fed were going to impose upon the banks. This was going to be something that would make sure that the banks no longer engaged in these speculative activities that would endanger the rest of the economy. Well, the Fed just went through a bunch of these stress tests and found that, lo and behold, most of the large banks did very well on it, passed with flying colors. In fact, the bank that did the best was Wells Fargo. Why did Wells Fargo do the best? Well, you may recall Wells Fargo not too long ago was embroiled in a scandal where it was basically opening up bank accounts without people's permission. So what happened as a result of that was that there were limitations put on the way that the bank could spend its money. What did it do? It was able to increase its cash holdings, putting it in better financial position than it would have been otherwise. Well, as a result of this sound financial management, largely imposed upon it by the federal government, these banks now can turn around, and what are they going to do? They're going to buy back a bunch of shares from the stock market. What does that do? That drives the price of stock up. It benefits shareholders exclusively. Does it benefit any of the people out there who need loans for their small businesses or for their homes? No. Does it do anything to lower interest rates? No. Does it increase the availability of money for our economy? No. What it does is it makes the rich richer, and that's all it accomplishes. So if you're outraged about the fact that these banks that got away with practically destroying the American economy and not being accountable to anyone for it, then I hope you'll join me in contacting your members of Congress to tell them to oppose any efforts by the banks to engage in stock buybacks and other efforts to jack up the price of their stock, unless they also invest big time in Main Street America and providing loans and other funding to individuals and small businesses who need it. That's who really deserved the rescue after the 2008 financial crisis, and frankly, who didn't get it. So if you agree with me or disagree with me, I'd love to hear your comments below. And if you could like this video, subscribe to this channel, and maybe even click the little bell that will notify you when I post a new video, that'd be a huge help. And I'll see you in the next video, and let's hope for continued progress. Thank you.